let's just take a minute to drop in together. So you might close your eyes, noticing the next few breaths. Feeling the support of the ground and checking in with anything that's already happened today, any stories that we're arriving with, just noticing how we feel in the body, in the mind. And then as you're ready, we can transition to moving. So if standing feels available, I invite you to transition to standing, following your breath, following the sensations of the body, taking your time. And then as you're ready, you can shake out your hands and feet, letting go of anything extra, anything we don't need to carry around with us anymore. You might rub your hands together and check in with the low back, the pelvis. So now that we're on our third week, and you might feel more familiar with some of these practices, feel free to get creative, follow what feels good. You might try shaking out your hands and feet again, rubbing the hands together, and then putting the hands over the eyes, letting go of any extra tension around the eyes, feeling the whole orbit of the eyes, behind the eyes, the jaw, the face, squishing the whole face around, noticing how the jaw feels as we start this practice, focusing on the jaw. Maybe giving yourself a really delicious head massage. Allowing the breath to be long and slow. Noticing as your body fills and empties, and letting go of any extra effort. Feeling the ears, maybe pulling on the ears in different directions. Noticing how that affects your jaw. Feeling the length of the spine, maybe rubbing your hands up and down the spine. Feeling the curves and the shape of the vertebra. And shaking out the hands and feet whenever it feels right for you. Feeling the chest, the ribs, shoulders, exploring the movement of the arms, the fingers. Feeling your connection with the ground, allowing the weight of your body to be supported. And feeling the sides of the torso, the back, the belly, the pelvis, the hips, offering touch, movement, awareness all the way down the legs, feeling each toe, moving the ankles and feet. And then doing something to warm up the hips, following any last wiggles, noticing what feels really good in your body, following the breath, allowing your body to expand and take up space. And then slowly, as you're ready, coming into a position where we can invite more stillness. If sitting on a pillow or a chair is available, I invite you to stay upright. And if you need to lie down, follow what feels good for you. Allowing ourselves to arrive in our bodies, in this space, in this moment right now. Closing the eyes, rocking the pelvis forward and back. Feeling the spine, feeling the ribs, noticing the jaw, and finding the alignment of your bones that allows your head to feel light, your spine to feel long, softening the belly, feeling the width of the shoulders, the chest. Releasing the jaw. And bringing our attention to the breath. Noticing the temperature of the air as it comes in through the mouth or nose, and the temperature as it goes out. Noticing the breath traveling through the throat, through the chest and belly, all the way down to the pelvic floor. Noticing as we allow the breath to be slow and long. If any parts of the body soften on their own without us doing anything. Maybe there's a gentle release in the jaw, the shoulders, the belly. Noticing any thoughts as they arise and allowing them to float by like leaves on a stream. And if the mind is caught by a story, follow one of those thoughts. Kindly bringing the mind back to the breath, back to any sensation in the body right now. Noticing the temperature, the air on our skin, the texture of fabric, any place where the body is in contact with the ground, or a pillow or chair. For this short time, allowing the breath to be the most fascinating thing happening right now. Following the intricacies of the movement of breath, the sensations as our bones move, as our tissues move, as the fluids move throughout the body. Feeling the breath fill us up like waves, coming and going. Tapping into the effortless nature of breath. Noticing the sensations inside the mouth. Maybe there's an awareness of the tongue, the teeth, the bones, the jaw. Noticing the taste inside the mouth. Sensations of breath moving in and out. The whole space inside the mouth and the throat. Any sensations you notice the whole area of the skull. Around the cheekbones and sinuses. You might even imagine the brain, the space inside the skull, the brain floating in fluid. The tissues inside the skull wrapping all the way around the spinal cord. There might even be really subtle sensations of the skull bones moving, almost like tectonic plates. Shifting around as we breathe, as the fluids move through the spine inside the skull. Maybe finding the tiniest smile with the mouth. Noticing if this affects the area around the nose, around the eyes. Seeing if we can really enjoy the next 3 breaths, this last bit of stillness. The sensuality of the breath moving throughout the body. Accentuating the curves of the spine, the belly. And then slowly, as you're ready, welcoming in some small, subtle movements. So you might keep your eyes closed, just checking in with your own body, noticing if there are any tiny movements that want to happen on their own. Maybe some very small circles with the spine or with the head. Allowing breath to lead the movement. Allowing gravity to lead the movement. Feeling the weight of the body, the weight of the skull. Maybe allowing the skull to fall forward, loosening the jaw. Maybe shifting from side to side, noticing the connection between the pelvis, the spine, the skull, and the jaw. Maybe there's some awareness of the sit bones shifting the weight of the body from one sit bone to the other. Seeing if we can let go of some tension in the spine, in the shoulders, and all around the head and jaw, the throat and neck. Maybe allowing the head to tip back just a tiny bit. Not trying to push ourselves into the biggest movement possible or stretching anything, just letting the movement be small and easy. Bringing awareness to the area of the neck, the throat, and the jaw. So you might allow the weight of the head to fall from side to side. Just this small, easy movement. Following the rhythm of the breath. Noticing how far down the spine you can feel this movement. And then you might take a short pause, closing the eyes. Bringing the attention to the jaw, and maybe bringing your hands on either side of the face, on either side of the jaw. Maybe allowing the hands to almost stick to the tissues on the sides of the jaw. And without pulling or pushing too much, just allowing the weight of the hands, the arms, the shoulders to pull on the area of the jaw joint just a little bit. Following the next 3 breaths, maybe your hands move slightly down on either side of the face, offering this subtle release. You might explore bringing the head back just a tiny bit, and then allowing the head to fall forward, keeping the hands on either side of the jaw. So the hands can kind of stay in one place, and the head might move slightly back and then slightly forward. Giving ourselves this really yummy, easy jaw massage. And then you might take a small pause, maybe bringing one hand to the chest, one hand to the throat. Noticing the connection between the throat, the neck, and the jaw. You might explore with your thumb and pointer finger in an L shape, kind of creating a V that you can put around your chin. And you might just explore this same movement where your hand stays still and your chin stays still, And we'll just tip the head back, maybe starting with the eyes. So you might look up, allowing the jaw to fall forward, falling down. And then you might tip the weight of the head forward, squishing the jaw with your hand. Following the breath, following the sensations down the spine. And allowing this movement to be really small, gentle, subtle. If there's any pain, letting the movement be smaller, slower. So you might open the eyes and look up, opening the jaw, and then looking down, maybe closing the eyes, closing the jaw, and letting the weight of the skull fall forward. And then letting that movement go, letting the hands go, maybe shaking out the hands. Moving the jaw around, just noticing if there's any small changes just in this short time. And then you might explore with the other hand, making a V or L shape with your thumb and pointer finger around the chin. And then this time going from side to side. So your hand and your chin can stay still, and you might look to the left, bringing your head so slightly to one side and then the other, starting with the eyes. Really small, gentle movement here. Noticing the spine, noticing the pelvis, relaxing the shoulders, softening the belly. And just exploring the movements of the jaw. And then you might let that go, closing the eyes, moving the spine, moving the jaw. Maybe changing the position of your legs and feet. And then if you like, we can start to explore inside the mouth. So if you need to wash your hands or take a sip of water, feel free. So starting out by closing the eyes and letting the lower part of your jaw hang. And then you might bring both thumbs to the top teeth. So you can find the sides, the two sides of the mouth with either thumb. And you're just going to push up slightly on the teeth. So again, we're just bringing awareness and then following the sensations of the body. So it's almost like giving your teeth a massage. So you can put just the tiniest bit of pressure up on your teeth, maybe feeling the width of your soft palate. Following the breath here and allowing this contact between your hands and your teeth to bring awareness to what's going on inside the mouth. Noticing if there's any extra tension that we can release with the next exhale. And you might go tooth by tooth, just putting the tiniest bit of pressure you might explore with keeping the thumbs still where they are, and again allowing the head to fall forward. So the pressure on your teeth is coming from the weight of the skull. Just noticing any tension around the teeth and giving ourselves this gentle, subtle tooth massage. Seeing if we can find a little bit more space inside the mouth. And then as you're ready, letting that go, following the breath, taking a small pause. And as you're ready, we can do a similar thing on the lower teeth, but this time you might take your two peace fingers, either hand is fine. And again, putting your fingers on the sides the side teeth. So you can give yourself a massage on the chewing surface of the teeth. And this time, you might explore with allowing your head to tip back the tiniest bit while your hand stays still. So the pressure is coming from the movement of your skull and the weight of your fingers. And then you might go tooth by tooth on the bottom teeth. Maybe offering a gentle wiggle to each tooth. And noticing the breath, allowing the breath to be long and slow. It's very common that there's a lot of tension inside the mouth, and often our association is with going to the dentist. So, really paying attention if there's any tension that's added to the body and relaxing the shoulders, softening the belly, lengthening the breath, and then letting that go as you're ready, taking a small pause. And if you're sitting, you might explore your way to lying down. Just allowing ourselves to find the support of the ground and integrating anything that has changed with the jaw, with the teeth, integrating this work into the whole body. So you might come to lying down, feeling the spine, feeling the back of the head, finding the breath, noticing the jaw, allowing the jaw to melt back down. And you might bring your hands to the back of the head, the back of the skull. And then with our eyes closed, we might explore tipping the head back and forward. So getting this gentle, subtle massage on the back of the head, this area between the skull and the neck. And as the head tips back, noticing what happens in the jaw as the head tips forward, noticing how this affects the jaw, how far down the spine you can feel this subtle movement. And if you can, allowing the movement to come from the hands, from the fingers, as much as possible, relaxing the area of the head, the skull, the jaw, the throat, the neck, feeling the weight of the head. Noticing how this affects the area around the eyes. You might explore lifting the head up off the ground just a little bit, lengthening the spine, feeling the weight of the head, and noticing if it's even possible to lift the head with the strength of the arms and not the muscles of the neck. And then letting that go, relaxing the arms, hands down towards the sides of the body. Noticing the next few breaths. And then you might bring the hands over the eyes, offering gentle touch from the eyes down over the face, cascading down the jaw and the chest and the belly, all the way down to the hips and pelvis, thighs. integrating this work into the whole body. Noticing any subtle changes in the body and mind, in the breath. Maybe offering this gentle touch one last time over the front of the body, feeling the ribs, the soft belly. And then maybe closing the eyes, taking one last moment of pause. And then slowly finding our way back together, finding our way up to sitting.